Alrighty guys, Aztec here bringing us another Dragon Ball Legends PvP video, kind of. Right, this is actually going to be an overview. I'm going to be providing some post-commentary, basically on my experience with the Powerful Opponents campaigns Legends Battle Royale, aka the LBR, that it's no longer technically the LBR game mode, right? It's no longer going to be boosting all of your units up to 14 stars. There are restrictions on this game mode, but that does include a Rising Rush restriction, and it does include a restriction to just only using powerful opponents, right? You can only use those units even on your bench and stuff like that, right? So going through this right here, we can see that I pretty much won every game. I only gained 8 of my tickets. I missed out on 2 of them. I think I may have missed a day of playing PvP or something like that. But look at these teams, guys. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, my team is cancerous, right? It's a little bit cancerous, it's a little bit toxic. I'm running Revival at 14 stars. I'm running the Zamasu Assist unit at 14 stars. But look at the teams that he keeps pairing me up against. This is one of the only teams, and let me go ahead and just, like, zoom in on this team. Right, look at this team right here. This was the only one that was, like, kind of, I think there was only 2 matches out of the 8 matches that I had played that were actually, I think, reasonable, that were actually like decent matches where it wasn't just a complete pub stomp right here, right? But why? You can easily tell me why right here, right? I don't think this guy was like a god rank player or anything like that, but he has stars on his units, right? So he's probably, you know, he probably came out of that match and he's like, why did he get faced against that guy? And I'm coming out of that match like, damn, I wish I had the equal amount of stars right here, right? So this is why I don't really agree with this. I didn't even want to make a video on I didn't even know if I was going to be doing the LBR, right? Just because I was like, the rewards don't even feel that great. There's not even like a massive like incentive for me, right? And we'll go into that later, but we can go ahead and take a look at this match right here, right? Just because the content. And so he ends up starting off with Tape. He has a powerful opponent team, right? Obviously we both do. But the one thing I wanted to talk about though is that this game mode it's so bad for the game in my opinion, right? Especially because one, the tickets are limited, right? You can't infinitely play this. The system that I think that should have been implemented with this game mode is it should have been, yes, of course, if you're good at the game, you'll get all the rewards quicker at a faster rate. You know, you're going to get it before players that are struggling a little bit more with the game mode. But you should still allow, like, players to have, like, infinite access to this, especially if they're going to take longer to grind this stuff out. But, like, I feel bad because there probably is players out there that played a couple matches of these, maybe got, like, stomped. They didn't have a good powerful opponent team. They didn't summon for androids. And, you know, they played maybe 1 or 2 matches and they're like, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm just straight up not doing this, right? Or they're just at the very minimum only trying to get the 3 wins, right? Because you can get 300 CC, I do believe, from the shop, which is 3 wins, right? The other rewards aren't like too crazy. There's a PvP message in there that's, personally, I like to go for those, right? But like I said before, it's just you look at some free-to-play players. You know, I'm free-to-play myself. I don't necessarily have like a main team. Like, you can't come up to me and ask me, Aztec, what's the team that you main? I don't have one of those, right? Mostly because I kind of like spend on everything. I don't really save my CC for one specific tag, so a lot of my tags are lackluster for sure. But when I talk about this to free-to-play players, I always recommend them choose one team. Choose your favorite team. What tag has your favorite characters, your favorite units? I mean, unless you're using GT, then that usually is going to work, right? If you're like, hey, like, I like Saiyans a lot, Saiyans are always going to be in rotation. If you like Future a lot, Future always constantly gets buffs and stuff like that. If you're a Future main, you're gonna get lucky here because a lot of Future units do compose of powerful opponents. But like, say for other tags, like Saiyans specifically, right? How many of your Saiyans are on PO? Not a lot, right? If any. I mean, you have like we won't even go into that. Like, I know the Saiyan Saga Saiyans and stuff like that, but either way, it just feels like such a scummy system right here where it's like I truly did not even have fun. Like, I legitimately, I wanted to stream these games right here, but they just weren't entertaining. Like, they legitimately weren't entertaining. Like, what you're watching on the screen right here is just androids doing all of the work, right? What the team that I had set up was that Revival Cell's there for Rising Rush mitigation, which is, there already is Rising Rush mitigation with a 30 timer count lock. Have Zamasu there so he can go ahead and kill combos essentially, right? So he can reduce ki, so he can also give me green cards. It's a very one-dimensional team that puts all of the resources into droids. If my droids die, I almost essentially lose the match, right? And that's it. It just, I don't like that. You guys have to let me know in the comments down below if you guys even attempted to do this game mode without the droids. Who are you guys using? I assume the next most popular team after using any team with the droids was with Frieza Force, right? I imagine LOE doing decent in this game mode and stuff like that, but even then they're not going to do as good as a droids team, right? I mean, even if you do have LOE and you have droids, you're still going to use droids on that team. This should have been like the, I don't know, LBR and tag androids, right? It should have. It's their game mode. It's plain and simple. It is their game mode right here, and I don't know. It's just definitely, I'm not a big fan of it. I want them to change it. I really think that them removing 14 stars from this was a bad move as well, especially if you're going to lock rewards behind the event at the same time. Like, that's just stupid. And so now this was the only other game, or the only other game out of the 8 matches that I played. Remember, I missed out on 2 tickets, whatever. But the reason why this match was a good one too was, what is he running? The androids, right? If I ran into you and you weren't running androids, I'm automatically going to assume that I'm winning them, right? And that sounds a little bit arrogant, but that's just how it is with this game mode, right? Because like you even see right here, once again, androids just go stupid right here. I think I go for a drop combo right here so I can extend my combo even further, and it's just, look at how much damage the Zamasu just starts taking right here. And it almost is like, because that was lucky, right? It was kind of, I mean, kind of luck, kind of skill involved in there, right? But either way, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just absolutely crazy. Like I said before, there was only 2 matches that were of decent quality. This was the second one right here. Look it. I'm not getting matched up against players that I should be playing in this game mode, right? There's not skill-based matchmaking in this. And then another issue that I was having was these like seemingly infinite queue time. This is actually something that I'm curious about, is were you guys experiencing this as well? There is multiple times where I would literally just be stuck on that message right there. We can go ahead and replay that. Look at no matches found. Right, please wait and try again. I'd be like, okay, well, let me hop into regular PvPs, like something acting up with the game. Do I have to reset the game? Nope. I would hop into PvP, instantly find a game, right? Or the regular ranked matches, right? And then I would go back into the LBR. People aren't playing this game mode, guys. Like, I don't know. That's what this tells me. This could just be a one-sided thing, something that I was only experiencing, but it definitely feels like there wasn't much people playing this game mode that were interested in this game mode. And just to give another example, like look at this guy's team. Okay, so we're gonna dive into this one because I didn't record all the matches. I think I only recorded pretty much these 3. The first one was a replay, but this one right here was just he has powerful opponent, of course, right? But what's lacking here is those androids, even on type advantage. Look at this Kid Buu still taking a lot right here, right? Look at how much he's taking. And then I think I just swap out and go into this guy right here, and then he's just dead. I win the game. As simple as that. And you can't even get mad at people running the androids because you have a limited amount of attempts to play this. You only get 10 tickets. You have, they put it behind that restriction where you want to sweat. When I hopped into this game mode, I expected sweaty matches. I honestly wanted the sweaty matches, but if they're going to be like this, if they're going to be like this much of a difference in terms of matchmaking, they should have just made it unlimited attempts, like I have said before, right? If it was going to be skill-based matchmaking, then I could understand them putting it limited, but even you need more tickets though. I think definitely there should be some more tickets because people get through this and then they don't, it's just not fun. That's the whole point of these other game modes, is that to take, I feel like these game modes should definitely be something implemented into the game to kind of like alleviate the stress from ranked PvP, right? Because ranked PvP can be frustrating at sometimes, especially if you're just facing the same teams over and over, the same units over and over. Something like this where there is a restriction, that's, it kind of, I know it sounds counterintuitive and it sounds hypocritical of me to say this, but I initially, before this had came out, I was like, I want them to put restrictions on these. I want the restrictions in place, but this was not the way to do it. Like, I don't know if I needed to specify or what, but this definitely wasn't it. So this is where we ended off right here. We won all 8 of our matches, right? We played 8 battles, we won 8 battles, didn't get the last 2 tickets. This is where it ended off. And then the cherry on top was I go to the exchange shop and so I was like, okay, let me just be finished with this game mode. I can't even get my CC because I'm at the 20k CC cap. Right, so I'm just like looking through this and I'm just like, okay, well, what else do they have on here that's enticing? And it's nothing really good. Like, they have that PvP message, like I said before, but it's, once again, Like, if you're a free-to-play player, you're above that 20k CC cap, like, you're not going to be invested in this at all. Are you going to even want to play it? Did you guys even play it? Right? I legitimately want to know. This just feels like a waste of space. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!